Welcome to the Vectorize, my friend. This is John Silva. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Let's get started in 2 minutes. All right, we are just giving a time to people to get the notifications to know that we are on live, my friend. So just to update you about what we're gonna do here today, we're gonna talk about some of the mistakes that beginners on illustrations and design does. Okay, but don't worry, right? That case, if you are new here, I will explain step by step in how we can solve these problems that many people face. So everything that I'll bring to you here is gonna be simplified, direct to the point. I want to make things very clear for you, and please let me know on the chat if you can see and watch already this live stream. Okay, let me know just to check here if the audio is working perfectly. I just want to thank you everybody from the club. Hello Down, hello Nikki, Bella. There are many people already from the United Kingdom. I hope that you guys are safe in there. All right, Crystal Steve, hello my friend. Thank you, Nick, for letting me know that's working perfect. I'm very happy that I'm not facing any kind of issues for a long time, you know, because I remember 2 years ago when I started to do live streaming here on YouTube, I got many issues like microphone quality was not very good, the camera also sometimes turned off, so many issues. But I'm very happy to see that everything is working perfectly and is not having issues. Hello Tibor Curtis. Hello Bobby Beetle. Hey Bobby Beetle. Yannick Conat. Oh, we have here people from French. Bonjour. Nice to know. Okay, we are just starting in 30 seconds. Meanwhile, let me bring my water because my cough here, it gets very dry easily because I talk too much. So, we're gonna explain step by step about the things that you must know in order to avoid the mistakes that everybody does. Okay? So let's get started, my friend. Welcome here. Guys, let me share review my screen. All right. So let's get started. I will show you this one. I like to make a presentation like this because it keeps me, focused. Guys, we're gonna talk about the most, let's say, common mistakes. All right. It's gonna be important for you to learn how this will work and what you can avoid. Mainly to improve more the way that you work right now with, it doesn't matter, it can be Affinity, Illustrator, Procreate, anything, right? My goal here is to help you to develop better skills. That case, let's get started already, all right? I just want to show you we have here 5 topics, okay, just to give you this introduction. 5 topics that we're gonna cover as we progress during the live stream, okay? I will not explain everything at once because it's too much information, so I want to show you step by step. Guys, let me explain here about one of the biggest issues that I see many beginners doing, okay, which is this one here. Many people, let's say, copy others' design, on top, and you need to avoid to do that. All right, that case, if you copy people's designs, you cannot use in your portfolio. Basically, you will not be able to use that design that you copied into your portfolio. So, also, you start to lose the ability to observe the shapes, forms, and color. One of the tips that I want to give you is that if you want to use some others' designs, try to study the shapes and not tracing the design, but try to compare what you can improve your design. I will show you some examples how you can improve that point, okay, during this stream. But that case, I want to show you that what's important is not to copy others' design works. What's important is just to translate, is to bring your identity. What's the meaning of copying others' designs? There's no meaning about this. Do you agree? it's nice to have original work, and this is something that I want to bring here, is that try to avoid to copy others' design, because you're not a print machine. We need to avoid this. Even if you are studying, try to get this into practice. Just compare, don't trace over. Try to see how you can improve the forms, shapes, and colors. You don't need to copy, right? You are talented. You don't need to copy others' designs. Okay, makes sense? I hope so. Thank you, Arctic. I don't know how to pronounce this. Hello, my friend. This is Friday. Friday is awesome. I love Friday. You know, because tomorrow is Saturday, and I can sleep more. Okay, next point. Not using proper tools. What I mean about this, let me explain just this one for now, and then we can start to make the exercise. When you don't use the proper tools, I'll show you what happens. Okay, that case, when you don't use the proper tools, you start to lose yourself to get into the best tools in order to short and get the job done easily, right? And then you start to get inaccurate and unsatisfactory results. This is something that we don't want. We don't want to make mistakes by using a tool that is not necessary. Something that people really struggle when they are, let's say, creating, is that they focus too much time in trying to find the best tool instead of applying the tool that is simple. All right, and then it can take a long time to complete the task if you don't use the proper tools. And how do you know when to use that tool? I'd say that it's practice, right? There is not a secret recipe that you need to follow in all designs. You need to focus always to find the easiest tool for what is important. I need to tell you this, my friend, because look at this. I've been working a long time with Affinity, doing a lot of tutorials, doing freelancing, all the things. And one of the things that I need to tell you that really matters, it is to use the easiest tool that you know to use. Don't try, let's say, to make things difficult, because you're gonna get frustrated. This is something that we don't want, right? Make sense? Okay, let me open here the exercise, all right, before we continue, because there are many informations and we're gonna explore more soon. Guys, today I want to make here and bring the exercise for you, all right? So if you're in the club, I just want to, thank you for all the support. And here we have a new exercise for this week, okay? And we're gonna do a baby turtle. This is just a reference, right? And that is what I mean. When you get a reference, you don't need to, let's say, copy this. So what I suggest you to do, you will start to observe, and then you start to create your own version. I'll show you my own version right now. You see what I prepared for you to vectorize today. I made this sketch here. Look, I made this just, let's say, the way that I see a baby turtle. So in my childhood, I remember about Pokemon. Pokemon? I don't know. But in my mind, something comes clear to my mind. Always, in our creativity, we always get inspired from what we live. So if you are illustrator that love to create characters, in your characters, perhaps you're gonna have a kind of feeling about, hey, this look like Disney characters, right? This is happening because you have, let's say, a passion, and your life which was based upon that inspiration, basically. Yeah, it's look like Squirtle, right? It's really look like, but it is not. It's similar. It's similar in aspect that, from the shapes. But I'm very happy that, for example, if you bring many references, you start to build your idea based in what you have in life. It's a mix of Charmander with Squirtle with many kind of Pokemon here. Yeah. Let me see here these questions. Down ask it, how do you get that from that reference? Well, what's important, I will explain here just some quick key points, key highlights, alright? So bring a note, so it's gonna be important for you. So guys, what's important when you are studying some references? Of course, is not to copy, but it is to get into what is relevant for that shape. For example, if you take a look here in this character, what we can look, it is that this character, as you see, there is a big eyes here that it represents this shape here, this one and this one. As you see, you need to look at the anatomy of the character, all right, that you are creating. Here we have the a rounded head here as well. Can you see the shape going on here? It's always about based about the silhouette of the shape. So we have here this part here, and then the very big, stylized limbs. That case, my one in the different way, I made different. I made, let's say, big eyes, but I made a rounded head. Okay, a rounded head, and small limbs, as you see, and big, very big, let's say, body. That case, I wanted to make this very big, because if I made this too small, I didn't feel comfortable to make, in my situation here is too small. So you can try to experience. So the main point it is to get into the shapes. All right, I like this most in that case. All right, after that we're gonna start to make the vector rise here. Okay, yes, exactly. So you need to understand at least the shapes. The shape is the very most important thing. If you are working with visuals, it's important to understand the shapes. Well, I will start to make the vector here, right? So feel free to ask questions in case that if you have questions, but I will answer in my time here. Okay, guys. Well, I will reduce this opacity. I will do the standard way that I usually do. I think that most of you from the Vectorize already know 100%, I think, about my process. But for people that are beginner, here is your first time, I will explain some point that is relevant for you to make it easy for you to understand how I work here on Affinity. And as we discussed it here, all right, just to bring back our class, guys. Soon we're gonna discuss about create poor quality curves. This is something that even professionals are doing. Even professionals are creating poor quality curves, and I'll explain the difference about a good curve and a bad curve, mainly in vector. Okay, guys, I will start here by vectorizing. Okay, the body shape. That case, I will focus in the major shapes, which is the head, the case. What's it called of this thing? Here I will bring the pencil tool. I will make this can be in gray for now, like that. And then I will add a stroke over here, like this. Okay, and then I will start to make my design here. In that case, look at this. I will create the head shape. I can turn on, let me make this below, of course. I can turn on the sculpt mode just to define more the head shape. Head shape now is done. Let me make this onto here. I'm using, at this moment, I'm using the Affinity Designer 2.1, and somehow the hotkeys, the keyboard is not responding somehow, but the performance over the new version of Affinity is incredible. It's really incredible. It's much better than 2.0 in that case. Fix here a little bit. Later I will focus on the curves. At the moment we are building only the shapes. Here I will add this one, just represent this area like that. Good. Here, and then I will start to build other elements. This one here. Oh, quite simple. Oh, look here, I have a bad curve here. Can you see? Now I can start to explain. There is one node here that it is conflicting with this one. This creates a bad quality of vector. Try to avoid this kind of mini nodes. So make one node, big one, and then you make the handle bigger. Look now how this curve now have a much better quality and much easier control. So if you start to apply this, what my device, my friend, you're gonna have a much better result. Much better result. Trust me. Really, trust me here. I will teach you the best techniques that you can apply today. Now I'll create here the shape. Oh, look how simple is this. Here, oh, let me draw again. Let me draw again in case that it's not good. Using sculpt mode just to draw this one. There you go. I have the shape. Good. Oh, I'm not focusing on the colors. Forget about colors, details. Forget about everything else. Focus only on the shapes. Here I will create this. And just to remember, you guys, I will review the design sent on the Telegram, okay, for the Vectorize Club members. Here we go. Oh, we have this shape. You can see that I've created this formation. And then let's do here the limbs. Make this a bit like that. And this one like this. Yeah, look at this. We got this result for now. Let me group everything. As you see here, this is my layers system. Let me activate my cursor so you can see where I'm clicking at. Here, okay, this is my layers. I will group everything, and there we go. I have the first silhouette. Why I call silhouette, guys? Let me explain for beginners. Because of this. I will get the design review in the end of the stream. Okay. I have here the shape. Okay. The silhouette. There you go. And here I will start to create the inner shapes. That case. But before we do that, let me make this a bit dark. Just a little bit dark. This one as well, because we start to apply a little bit of values on here. Gonna be very simple. Oh, here a little bit like that. This can be like this. Nice and clean, right? Let me see here a little bit of question on the chat. Are you having same problem down when you are trying to switch between the shortcuts using 2.1? Yeah, I hope they will fix this, because the 2.1 is incredible. Just this bug is not making a little bit not nice to work with. Guys, now look at this. Pay attention, my friend, because what I'm gonna tell you is gonna be very important. After this stage, what I like to do is to go more inside. What I mean, details. Here, I will insert inside, and then I will create this shape right here. It's insert inside, and then look at this here. There you go. It's there. The shape is there. How good. And then I will start to do this. Look, boom, boom, boom. Here. There you go. Another one like that. This look like a football here on this area. Let me make it like this. It's not perfect geometry here that I have. I mean, in my sketch is not perfect, so I'm doing by mind, but later I can change. The nice thing, what I love most about vector, working with vector, is that I can change everything. I can change the curves. I don't have problem about my line is not doing great. I can change always. So if you have fear about, hey John, I don't know how to draw, and can I still do your tutorial? Of course, my friend. Who say to you that you can't draw? On the club, even if you don't have drawing skills, you can still do these tutorials. Alright? Believe me. There are many people here on the chat. Not many, it's just 90, but for me it's many. Ask them, Everybody here can draw. Let me make this a bit more rounded. Okay. Nice. There we go. What's the next stage? It is to add the small details over the head here. It's gonna be a bit more tricky, but trust me, I will show you in as easiest way as possible. Look at this. I'll create the eyes like that. Let me fix this curve. I press A just to fix the the nodes. Can you see that I have a lot of nodes here? Because it's because of the pencil tool. The pencil tool on Affinity, it doesn't create a very consistent, or let's say a reduced amount of lines. So this is why you need to press A in order to fix. But this nodes here is clean, so you cannot see that there is a lot of jitter. It's jitter. A shaky, let's say curve. So if you have this, look, doesn't work better. Doesn't work. So the focus right now about this explanation that I want to bring here, it is about the curves. That's good. Let me create the eyes pupil. Here we go. That's fine. That one here. Make it a bit dark. This will be a bit white. White. Good. And next one, these eyes, I will do like that. Close here, insert inside, and there you go. Make this dark. Bring this into here. There you go. Very good, very good. Keep up, my friend, keep up, because we are just creating this design from scratch. Let me make the mouth shape here. One line, just 2 small lines. What I'm using, pencil tool. All right. Here as well, I'll create a new line. That case, just to have these details over here. This kind of, can you see here we have some circles? This is called textures. What is textures, if you ask me? Texture is when you have repeated elements and shape that is similar. If you look at, for example, the wall you have some kind of textures. If you look at, let's say, the soil, or your floor, you're gonna see some patterns. When you start to recognize a pattern, this is called textures. In that case, here I will do this. Ability to be a good, let's say, illustrator or designer is to be able to look at things around you. Look at the things around you and see, try to recognize. I will be honest with you. When I have trips, let's say when I go to the vacations, I start to look at everything around me. I start to go into that kind of, oh my gosh, you start to have a pleasant moment when you observe, when you watch the nature. I think the best way to get inspiration, it is the nature. My friend, take a look on the nature. Go see the plants, the tree, the animals, the other things. Then you're gonna have a lot of inspiration. Make sense? I think that if everybody today have contact with nature, everybody would be happier. But not. We are always inside of the house with a lot of blocks, a lot of things. City is depressing. I'll be honest with you. I live in São Paulo, a big city, a very big building in everywhere. When you cannot see stars, you look at the night, you cannot see the stars. It's so depressing, right? This is so depressing. And then when you have an opportunity to look at the stars, not stairs, you feel, oh my god, this is so beautiful. Oh, okay. Hello, Jeffer. You are struggling to close the curves to be able to color like the front. Okay. Let me show you, my friend. Here, what you can do. Here on top, you have this close curve. Okay. So, let me explain better how you can close the curve when you have an open shape here on Affinity. So, as you can see, we have this button that's called Close Curve. Keep it selected, the shape, and then click here on top. Then it's gonna close, right? So if you press Ctrl and click over the line, you're gonna delete that line. Can you see? You can delete. And if you click here on top, you're gonna close this. After that, you can use A in order to do this. If you're using the pencil tool, now there is a functionality that's called Auto Close. okay, this option here. So if you draw a shape, enable this and you draw a shape, Affinity will automatically close that shape, just like that. Oh, look, I will draw here with the pencil and then I will release the mouse now and Affinity will close automatically. Okay, so this is how that works now on Affinity. Make sense? This is answer you? I hope so. If you press Ctrl, right, it's gonna delete. Let's press A. Okay, you have also this method. Select both nodes and connect by join curves. Okay, but the close curve is enough. That case, make sense? I hope so, my friend. Leave the like, guys, because it's gonna be important. All right, I think that we have just created all the shapes for now. And what's the stage that I want to talk about? Well, let me explain now better about the curves. Okay, here, as you can see. Okay, let me bring this to me, guys. One of the biggest mistakes that people that are creating illustration and art is when they make bad quality curves. And let me explain to you how that works. When the curve is not precise, you need to focus to smooth by making the handles opened, basically, right? And also, if you add too many nodes to your shape, you need to delete the unnecessary nodes because it's gonna overclutter your design. It's gonna have too many nodes to handle. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be very bad, and this will lead to a curve that is not smooth enough. So if you want to make your design more solid, more constant, much better, you need to reduce the amount of nodes, keep the handles opened, and then you're gonna have a nice result. Okay, in practice, how this works, let me show you. In practice, basically, you have here these shapes. So can you see here? I could have that case. I could have only 2 nodes over here instead of having, let's say, here. I could have 2 nodes, one here and another here. Look this quality now. Open the handles. Open the handles. Simple and clean. Simple and clean. Then you're gonna have this result, a much better result. You don't need to have a lot of nodes. Alright? Make sense? Hope so. Few nodes, open curves. I mean, handles. This is called handles, these blue areas here. Okay, my friend, let's go into the next stage. I think that we are doing very great in the time that we have here. Let me just place this here. Guys, pay attention because it's gonna be very important. What I'm usually doing now, it is to do the shadings. Okay, so as you see, we have the silhouette. Now I will focus on the shadings. Well, the shading, it is responsible to make the transition between light and shadows. All right, it is how you can visually see something. It's from where is the light, where is the shadow. So here I'm gonna remove the outlines because outlines is bothering my eyes. So look at this moment that we have now. Let me make this a bit dark, like this. Yeah, like that, better. As you see now, I've cleaned all the line art. I don't want to have strokes at this moment. I want to clean up this. This stage you can focus more over the let me just bring the mouth back here, like just the mouth. In this stage, what I like to do it is to make the shadings. This is something that I'm doing a lot. And there is a course on the Udemy and also on the Vectorize Club that I teach how I make shadings. How I make shadings professionally and fast. Okay, so I suggest you, if you want to know and learn with a more clear explanation, more time that you can, follow the tutorial better in terms of technical aspects, I suggest you that you get right now the Udemy course. If you don't want to have the subscription about the Vectorize Club, you can join the club and then you're gonna have the access in there. Members have access to all the courses. Okay, no fees additional, no fees, just as you wish. Guys, let's do here the shading. That case, I will activate the raster. I want to make this in raster. Okay, because for me, I'm enjoying more the raster at this moment. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, I'll paint here. I'm painting here inside. Painting here. Oh, making that. Focusing in this. And then I will add light, that case, in the areas that we have light. Let me make it a bit more white. Here. Like that. Here. And here. Oh, the light going in this area here. Few brush strokes. You don't need to have many brush strokes. That's the point. I make it now a bit dark. And here, look at this. Can you see that this line? I'll make that point here. Oh, let's just do this a bit darker. Let me focus here now. I will make it like this. I'll make the mouth shape. Oh, let me check. And now it's working. Let me delete a little bit this, just a bit. I will draw this area here. Okay. Perhaps I'm considering to create a new layer because I think it's gonna be better at this point. Look, I will do this. Great. Here we go. Create it. Why I have created a new layer? Because I want to make a kind of lips effect here. So in this area, you see. What I'm doing, it is giving volume to the character. Okay. Like that. Now it's becoming even more. Let me hide here the line just to check. Oh, this one. Can you see? What I will do with this line, look at this. I will apply the Gaussian blur to do this. You have a better depth. It's called crease. Okay. Nice. It's very cute mouth shape here. Let's make this. So as you can see, I'm going to have more light here below, also here. Oh, there you go, my friend. And here, this area, let's make this a bit darker. This one here, from the eyes, because it's too light. There's too light going on here. And I call this sculpting. I'm sculpting like artist. I don't know if it makes sense, but sculpting. Let me see. Hello, Ariadna. Welcome, guys. Let's see here. Crystal Steve, my friend. I feel you. I'm alright. I'm broke. I'll be honest with you. I have so many bills to pay. Oh my gosh. Life is getting harder, you know. My rental has increased, and yeah, it's getting a bit harder, you know, and with the free tutorials that we have here, of course, you know, you're gonna learn. But as such, of course, if you have a way to get the courses, you're going to speed up more, because on there we have a more, let's say, step-by-step technical aspect explained. Here on the live we have a more, you know, freedom, you know, to explain the points, but you can still learn a lot. I'm just making a shading only in grayscale. It's called grayscale. Let me do here the whole noses, which is here. Let me show you. Remember that I had before some lines. You see the lines are here. What you do with these lines, it is to apply the Gaussian blur, that case. Okay, I'll apply the Gaussian blur to them. So there is something happening here, my Affinity, that it doesn't recognize my hotkeys all the time, and I get really here. You can see I'm gonna do this, but be very careful when you are doing this, because if you just do this, it's gonna make this really, this line not very good. And what you can do is to apply transparency. Transparency in designer persona. The transparency, you can do this. Look, you can control like that. Here we go. If you don't know how to paint like I paint, you can use the vector brushes. Okay, feel free. But I feel more comfortable at the moment to look at this. You can do this, make this bigger. All right, and add what? Transparency, like this. You're gonna start to have more volume here. Make sense? I hope so. More volume in this area as well. That's why I like to paint, because I feel like it's faster to paint in raster at that point. Okay, here, now that I have this, let me make this more up. I like that. Good. Let's dig into the shadings in these areas here. Oh, look at this. I will add this shape. Adding a kind of volume here around of this hole, nose hole here. Here, very smooth brush stroke. Don't need to get this very like that. Yeah, my friend, simple like this. And here I will do this. Let's do a highlight. Let me apply this more white. Oh, look. Let me check. Perhaps a bit darker. Yeah. Here. Because I want to make that this will be more pushed to forward. I'm imagining here there is a plane in terms of wireframe. Let's make this a bit more here. My quality of design is increasing a lot because I'm practicing more this kind of techniques, sculpting techniques. It's easier, than, because if I do everything here, these details in vector, it will take a lot of time. I'll be honest. Okay, I love vector, but vector is a process that takes time just to have more control. Here, I don't need to have control. I need to make my idea clear. I want to make my shadings happening, right? Don't get like, oh my gosh, should I use vector all the time? No, you don't need to use vector all the time. Affinity can handle with raster, painting, texturing, anything else. Okay. Hello, my friend Phil S. Welcome. Thank you. Nah, it's become a very nice turtle already. Here I will just fine. I want to thank you everybody that is joining us today. Let me just, nice shape here as well in this area, perhaps. Let me make this a bit thin. You can smudge as well. Let me just add a highlight in this area. Just hold on. Oh, look. Can you see now the nice? Here I will add a little bit of, just a bit of light here. Bouncing. Yeah, the shading for the head is done. let's go a bit faster. Guys, I will do here the eyes. That case you see now. Let me duplicate this. We have a tutorial on YouTube channel that show how you can create eyes. Okay, next week is already recorded, and weekly I'm releasing a short tutorial, like 8 minutes, very short, so you can learn a lot. Now I will make this in white. I will deform this a little bit more, curves deformed, just to have more organic shape here, like this. Yeah, I don't like to use very rounded highlights. I think it makes too symmetrical. Oh, this one looks nice. And here I will apply the gradient like this. Yeah, and let me duplicate this, resize, make it in white, transparency 2, and boom, there you go. Few steps in order to get this result. Few steps, my friend. Leave the like. Leave the like. How I will know that you are enjoying this tutorial? Make my life easier, my friend. Leave the like. I will let me see, reduce, remove this, duplicate, make this dark. Oh, I'll do the same technique. Make this gray, duplicate, resize, make it in white, transparency 2, from top to bottom. I'll make these eyes a bit bigger because I did this with the pencil tool. So the circle here, the eyes shape is not perfect. As I tell you that if you many nodes happening, I need to clean up this. Sometimes it's better if you delete and do everything again. Let me do this. Look, yeah, because I don't like to have the bad quality in my design. I don't like, really. I don't post bad things. I mean, I don't like to post bad things because I'm perfectionist. It is not good to be perfectionist sometimes, but it's good sometimes. So you need to have a balance, to not be a person that, let's say, if you are too perfectionist, you start to wait for the best moment to do that thing. So no, don't be perfectionist to, let's say, delay your project. Don't do that. Let's do here another question. So I hope this is clear, and let's talk about just two remains. Guys, let's talk about the MISUSE. I hope this is correct. My people, let's talk about the misuse of gradients. Okay, you need to avoid to using always the linear form of gradient in forms that doesn't apply. What I mean about this? If you use the gradient, linear gradients in the shape that is rounded, you will not have a good result. Why? I will explain to you why. For example, here, I will draw right now this circle with you here. I will draw this circle right now. If you use the gradient and applying that way, here you have, as you can see, a linear gradient. And many people, beginners, use the linear in subjects in form that it doesn't apply correctly. That's why it is so important to use other type of gradient, such as elliptical. This one works very great for this purpose. All right, so this is the fundamental about using gradient, but be careful about using the linear. Not all objects in life it is linear. There are, let's say here, this is sphere, so we can work with that by creating a sphere like this. Okay, I mean, in terms of shading, this is a metal pattern here, so you can do this, right? So make sure always to not use gradient in everything. Okay, try to avoid that case. If I use the gradient, for example here, look, I will have this result. But I could improve much more this design if I perhaps create a personal gradient by making the shadings, following the wireframe of this object. So be careful, right? Be careful when you are using the gradient in that case. Make sense? I really hope that makes sense. This is something that I see in many designs. Many designs. Guys, here, let me remove this outline. I don't want to have this outline. And here, look at this. I will start to make the shadings. I will make the, guys, I will not color this, okay? Because it's too much to do in one live stream. It's too much. So what I'm doing here, it is, getting a red really nice. Hope you understand the limitations that we have here. That case, let me just apply here. Look. Oh, look at this. I'm making the shading. Can you see? If I use the gradients, look how bad it would be. My friend, pay attention. Look. Can you see here? It's not linear. You need to follow the wireframe. You need to follow. Let me show you again. I will show you. Oh, let me back this. And then I will follow this. And then I will do this. Let me soft this here a bit more. So can you see that the gradient here, the shading is creating a kind of form like that? Is a create a triangle like this. Can you see this? Can you see same like me? If you can see a triangle here, congratulations. You are very creative. You have the Da Vinci eyes. Okay, I have here this one. It's good. Here there is a cat shadow, and there you go. And then I can make this a little bit with light. Okay, here. Nice. I could improve more this, let's say, this shape, because yeah, make more rounded, and then I add more volume. How? You see. You're gonna see right now, because I don't like to not have volume in my designs. I will add here volume here like that. Make sense? Then I can select this area, just like this, and apply. What? Oh, you see. Oh, make a shading here from here, and look. Come on, Affinity, change my hotkey, please. I'm looking forward to this improvement. There you go. Volume there. Good. Let me see here. Where is the music? Where is the music? I need to hire a DJ here. I need to hire a DJ because my system is not working in the way that it should. And make this below. Oh, now let's make the shading for this area. This is the part of the process that I enjoy a lot. I'll be honest with you. To make the shadows so pleasant. It is something that many people struggle and have fear, but it's easy. Focusing only in the forms. Guys, let me see here what's happening. Is there any problem with my stream? I just wonder, because I didn't get what's happening. Is there something in my camera that well, perhaps it's moving onto here. Let me just apply this here. Yeah, that's good. Here I will start to add the shading as well in this area. Simple. Let's keep simple this one. GDR is too expensive. Not the ones that are use pen drive. Oh yeah. This is coming fuzzy. It means Well, actually, there is a green screen. There is a green background behind me that makes this transparent. Like Marvel movies, if that makes sense. Yeah. Other than that, well, here my screen I can see that it is working well. I don't know. Oh, focusing. Look how this shading is working. I am focusing in making this look like surrounded, focusing on the corners, and then I can start to do this. I can start to add some highlights. Okay. The line. Which line? No, I cannot see a line here for the camera. I don't see a line here, sorry. And here, guys, I will start to place below a shading here. Hold on. Oh, I need to rush a bit this because I need to still review the design done by Vela and down. Here. Okay. Simple like that. Make it a bit darker. Can be like, yeah, darker. That's nice. And here I'll start to paint one by one. Look at this. Simple like that. I will start by creating this. No, there is a small line, on the camera, in this area, because there is the limitation of the light, I'd say. But is this too disturbing, for this stream? Because I'm just wondering. A holy me. No, my friend. Not a holy me. Let me check. I will answer you guys, okay, regarding the next question that we have for the tips. I will be happy, that you guys tell me and make a kind of, not resume, but I was thinking that people could make some notes, keynotes about this stream that I do here. So I'll be very happy to see what you have learned. It's gonna like homework. Makes sense. You are watching 65 inch, my friend. You are on cinema. You are watching me like a movie. Let me make this. Oh, hold on. Let me paint here inside. Guys, what's important at this point is that you add volume. And what adds volume? It is only where is the shadow and light. Okay, makes sense? This is what's important at this moment. So let me make this a bit more like this. Make sense? Here I will create this one. Adding more volume here as well, this area. This area here. Make it more light here, 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 here. Whoa! I love it. I love it. Let me. And just these are missing, and the below parts, but I'll make this simple, right? I will not make this complicated. Let's add shading here and try to hide a bit the details, let's say. Oh, this area is there's too light going on here. Too many lines here. Yeah, better. And this one here. The vector man comes to the people are using 4K to watch me here. Thank you for this consideration. Okay, Marvel will hire me soon to make the vector man. Guys, I think that my title about getting being a vector man is not anymore available. I don't feel like I'm using vector in everything that I do, to be honest. Since, as you can see, it's more painting. So I think that we need to find a new name for that. Here I will add more to paint this like that. Look at this. Yeah, here we go. Can you see how constant the look becomes when you start to make the shading in this way? Yeah, this is something that I'm very happy to bring more, because this increases a lot the quality in terms of the way that you make the shadings. Okay, I love that. Let's play here. Hold on. This is a bit dark. A little bit dark. Yeah. Yeah. When Affinity don't respond my shortcuts, becomes really not good. Well, there are some points that of course I want to adjust more, but I think for the main idea of this design that we have here, it is pretty nice. Also, I will use here the controller for the contrast, something that I ask you and suggest you to do the same in case that you want to improve more the readability of your design. Okay, I highly suggest you to do that if you want to make your design more consistent in this situation, and I will show you very soon. But first, let me add some textures here inside. Just some textures like that. Let me find one. I have this one. Let's see. No, this one not. Can be like this. In gray. One here, 2, 3. Let me read. There you go. I like that. This one. And let me use the contrast adjustment. Guys, pay attention. I'm gonna use here the curves. The curves now is gonna help me to that case. I will apply here. It's gonna help me improve more the readability to this character. Like this, I can make this more white and this more, look, I can control here like this. Where is the shadow and where is the light? I don't want to make this very, over dark. Something like this with low contrast. I think it's nice and clean. Okay, and just to show you how nice is this quick way. Okay, but just to explain this point, we have here these two shapes. All right, if I use now the gradient map, in that case I'm gonna use the gradient map here in this back part of this turtle gradient map, and then I could easily do this. Look, I will apply this in, it's green, right? Is it green? Yeah, almost green, like that. I'm changing. Oh, look, this is something that I'm doing more in my designs, is just to make the shadings using gradient map. I think it's faster like that. You see, then I can control here even the contrast of these elements here. Oh, like that. Nice. And then I can use this gradient map and paste through all. For example, if I paste here, look, boom, my friend coloring. I love that. This is something I'm doing a lot in my designs. I'll be honest with you, a lot. I've speed up my process 10 times faster over the coloring because the way that I'm working on at this moment, mainly in my job, my freelance job. So now let me. Why I'm painting? This is not the purpose of this live stream. I don't know why I'm painting. I'm just, playing here to show you how that works. It was not in the in the plan, so this is something that I'm doing here just for fun. Which color use? I think that I'm gonna use this more orange. I think this makes sense. Oh my gosh, look at this. Gradient map is the best way to color the things, but you need to be very careful because it's not easy to use, because you need to have a very nice way to structure your layers. Here I'll use here, I use here, here as well. Actually, just hold on. Let me make this more bluish because it's the same way like that. Yeah, now we have the Bulbasaur Squirtle. Yeah, let's see. Make it more lighter. Okay, I will copy this color and then I will paste to other shapes. Basically, this is how I'm designing. So I have the shading on there and then I change here. Why I don't use the color effects? The color effects doesn't create a very consistent result with the coloring about tonalities. Here I have a consistent tonality to change. I can change this to yellow, to more orange. So color overlay doesn't work for this purpose. That's why I don't use that anymore in my designs. Okay, it makes sense. I will paste this here. There you go. It's not the perfect one in terms of shading in coloring, because I'm doing fast this one, so I will leave it like that for now. This was not in the plan to make the coloring here. That's fine. That's fine. I'm still happy with this. We have here, my friend, the coloring in a very quick way. The gradient. Where do you find the gradient map on iPad? Let me show you. You need to go to the layer adjustments. Then you're gonna find there the gradient map. It is available over the adjustments side. Go to the adjustment and then you can see it there. Make sense? It's there. It's the same place where you find the curves, the channel. I'm using gradient map because you can control the the color based on that dark and gray values. Guys, just to let you know, I explain much more about shading techniques on the new course that is available on the Vectorize Club. So the Vectorize Club is there for you if you want. If you are on the club, watch the illustration tutorial, the course one with the monkey. On there I explain a lot about painting techniques. Okay, it is very great. So and the last one before we go, guys, here let me explain this point. Look at this. One of the most biggest mistakes that I see people doing is not to organize the layers. So if you don't organize the layers, it's gonna be difficult for you to handle with a big project, alright? So in case that you are working with a big project, it's gonna become very hard to manage, to let's say, to keep doing the project. So what you can do in order to solve this, it is to group the elements and label them based on how they work. So stop in each stage of the process that you are working on, and then you start to group the elements. And how you can do that in practice. As you're gonna see here, look at this. We have a layer here. My one is simple because I've organized it, okay? But let's say that you have a big, layers. You need to start to select them, and then after that you select and you start to group them. For example, I can select these both shapes, this one, and group them. Then we start to reduce the amount of elements, including here the details. I will select them all, group them, and then I can call this as details. As you see now, I have the details on the face, alright, and then they are grouped. This is working very great. So this is one of the biggest mistakes that I wanted to bring. Guys, I hope it makes sense. All right, all about the topic. Look, it takes a lot of efforts for me to bring this lesson. You know, it's not easy, it's hard, and your support on the club, it is 100% important for me to keep doing tutorials like this. It's 100%. Without the support, I will not be able to keep doing things like this. You know, there is a huge amount of work being applied here. And just to review here, the design is done by Vela and down here, as you may see, the past week we did the mermaid challenge, and let me give you here the feedback. Congratulations, Vela, for doing this work. I love that, but there's something that I would change. Okay, in that case, the hair textures, I'll be honest, I would make more simplified. I know, you know, that sometimes we don't have time to polish more the idea, but what I would do if I were you, it is to simplify the textures. I would not go into a more realistic textures, but I would simplify, because as you see, the shapes are very clean. But when you see here a lot of textures, it get too many informations. This makes, let's say, the combination of this hair with the shapes a little bit, let's say, off. But anyway, it is awesome. I love that. You know, the details that you place it here is really good. Mainly here over the, oh my gosh, a very great hands quality. The curves here, it's awesome. Really, congratulations. I love that. The curves here, the quality of curves, it's impressive. I love. But what I would only change, it is the textures. All right, I would change the textures to something simplified. Okay, makes sense? Hope so. Next one by Down. Hey Down, congratulations, my friend. Well, I like, you know, this anatomy that you have placed on here. I think that what you can apply more here, it is more shading over these areas. For example, you have applied here below of the neck. Okay, I would change this color tonality to something a bit more, that case, less, you know, desaturated somehow, because the color here, it's not fitting over the shading somehow in my mind. Also here, it's going to opaque, more gray, and I would go to more something red. Go to the red tonality. Okay, red tonality. The hair here looks constant, but I would apply more shadings. Okay, here as well, I would add shadings in this area. Here, create a shape, apply Gaussian blur, and then we start to have a more consistent shading in this area. Because as you see here, you have a shape, a wireframe that do this. Okay, this sphere, kind of sphere. Think in frames. Oh, this is just a drawing over, just show you. And add a light here. It's gonna make it nice. Overall, it's nice. As well, I would add you know, an element that creates more contrast here. These textures, I know that it's hard, but if you want to go into more, let's say, challenges, you need to follow. Oh, this needs to be like that, you know. And following here. I know it's following a little bit here, but the cylinder, you need to make this look like cylinder because it is too flat. Here is same height like that. You need to make this going, let's say, you know, into a cylinder way. Makes sense? I hope that you love it. The feedback, guys, really. So this is just the two reviews that I got. If you're on the club, you can send your designs to get reviews like this, because of course, when I review, you start to see what I'm seeing and you can get better. Okay, so it's important if you join on the club because of this benefit. I just review the designs done by the club, okay, because they allow me to bring tutorials like this. Guys, just to wrap up here, the result, that's it. I want to thank you so much for your time, everybody that joined here today. Okay, all the efforts. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, all the step-by-step, explanation, And if you still have questions, please let me know. Okay, let me know, because we don't have a lot of time, to go much further than this. That's why I ask you to join weekly on our stream here. Get the exercise, practice, because it's gonna be important for your progress. This is the only way that you can get better skills. Guys, I want to thank you so much, and I hope to see you in the next week. Bye bye. Take care, guys. See you. Bye.